Today I'm going to go over the 5 adopter categories that every marketer needs to know when starting a new business or becoming part of a startup. This will help you tremendously when starting your marketing plan and building a concrete plan that will help you get more sales. So a little bit about me is that I have a bachelor's degree in marketing. I'm currently a grad student going for my MBA. I am also the head of marketing at a commercial and residential repair and maintenance company. So I'm a little red today. I was outside shooting some clips for the socials and for my marketing plan. So let's get into it. Let me tell you what each category is and the percentage of the people that are generally in that category based on the theory. So I learned this in school, and this was one of the most important things that I learned because I use it every day in every strategy that I create. And it definitely boosts sales. The first one is innovators. They make up about 2 to 5% of the population. Then is the early adopters that make up about 10 to 15%. After is the early majority that make up about 30 to 35%. Then is the late majority, also 30 to 35%. Then is the laggards that make up about 15 to 20%. So in this example I'm going to do today, we are going to go over what it would be like to open up your own coffee shop. So these numbers are specifically for a coffee shop. They don't change very much per service business, just a couple percent, but these percents are for a coffee shop. So for the innovators, these people are generally more educated, younger, and wealthy. They have money that they can spend. Want to be the first ones to try it. They feel like they want the unique new experience first. They want to see like, oh, I went here, which is good. Very, very good. So and then after comes the early adopters, but these also come around when the innovators do. The early adopters need to see a value-driven business. So when you create your website and your marketing plan, you want to come up with a value and a mission and make it surrounded by something that people care about, and bonus points if your company is going to run any philanthropy. I suggest that your company at least run some type of philanthropy because people love to help other people. So philanthropy can be used as an incentive for people. If coffee shop A was not using any philanthropy incentive, and then coffee shop B right down the street, your coffee shop that you just opened, ran a philanthropy mission, then people would generally want to go to coffee shop B, your coffee shop, because your coffee shop's running a part of philanthropy. It doesn't cost them any more money to buy your coffee and feel like they're a good person for buying your coffee. So because they're helping out a good cause. You should generally pick your cause around something that you feel like your local people will get around. This will be good in helping, people getting interested. So during this time, while the innovators and the early adopters are in your store day in and day out for a little bit, you want to build an incentive plan for them to leave reviews, because the early majority will start coming. They need to see social proof, word of mouth, and reviews. So you have to create a marketing plan at the beginning when the innovators and the early adopters are there that generates high reviews, a lot of social media posts, and something that gets people talking. Why is your coffee shop better than the one that they've been going to for the last 10 years? I don't know. So you have to figure out a niche, like you have to figure out something that'll make people want to go to your coffee shop. It could be a better cup of coffee. It could just be the environment, the employees, the community that you build there. You could start branding. You could do a lot. This would also obviously work for any business. say you want to run a carpentry business, you would want to focus on customer reviews. Say you built a door frame, you would ask the customer at the end if you did a good job, you were nice, you were friendly, to leave you a review and mention your name, add some pictures in there. Reviews, Google reviews with pictures last longer on the top. So it's very good for them to add the pictures, especially when it's a good review. You want to get longer reviews so the person's more apt to use your keywords. Add some pictures in so people can see like, oh wow, like they did that work, I want to hire them, So it can work with all businesses. It doesn't just have to be stores. It can be any service business. Or if you're trying to create an online clothing store, you could have people leave reviews like, oh, I love my shirt. My shirt's so great. The color is perfect. It fits awesome. The seams are nice. And you can create it behind that. But remember, you have to pick your incentives clearly. Say you were doing the clothing business and it had your company's logo on it, and you came out with an incentive. If you post a picture of my shirt to your social websites and email us proof, we will give you 5% off your next purchase with us. Wonderful. Who doesn't want 5% off? So that's great. So this gets the early majority interested. They're seeing the reviews. They're hearing it from other people. They're seeing it online. So then they want to check it out. Like, oh, what is this? This is great. Let me see. So it's perfect. So the late majority, you've pre-targeted already based on your campaigns, your missions, your values. People going there, posting, seeing stuff, buying stuff. The late majority drives by your store and sees like, oh, there's always a line there. Maybe I should check it out. So they come after your company is well established. Or for the carpentry one, like, oh, that company has 300 views. That company has 300 reviews. Well, maybe I should try them out versus the company that has 20 review. Why do I keep calling them views? But anyway, based off that, you don't have to build a marketing plan around the late majority. At this point, you want to target everybody because the late majority comes after your business is well established. They know what's going on. They know what they're going to get because you've already built up your reviews, the word of mouth. They're hearing about it. They want to see like, oh, is this going to be like, is this great? But they kind of already know that it's great because they've already heard about it. They've already seen it. And now they want to try it out for themselves. So you get those stragglers in there. And that's when your company's customer count will, if it's a store, will start to plateau. But it's going to plateau high, but it'll plateau because there's only so many people in your community. At this point, if you want to start branding, you could brand, try to build up. You could try to sell coffee cups or bags of coffee or any type of merchandise you can just make some extra money on. Create a new menu item to get more people like back to your store interested. What are they doing now? Let me check it out. Especially for the innovators, they would want to see new stuff generally. So never waste your time targeting the laggards. They will never come. They'll never come to your store. They don't want to know. They're stuck in their ways. The only time they will ever come to you is if the coffee shop down the street closes or has maintenance issues. Basically, they can't get their coffee at the coffee shop. They can't get their coffee at the grocery store. There's a coffee shortage and you're the only store that has coffee left. They won't come back once there's coffee at the grocery store or the coffee shop down the street opens back up. So there's no point in wasting your time, your money, your energy to get that last 15 to 20% of group of individuals. All in all, I hope you guys learned something today. If you did, hit that like, maybe subscribe, because I have a lot more information to share with everyone. Comment if you want me to talk about a specific topic. I can try to help you and we can go over it together. If you have the question, generally a lot of other people have the question, so I am willing to try to help with anything. Anyway, thank you guys. Have a great day.